There's a warning that tens of thousands of jobs could be lost in Scotland by 2030 if the energy transition isn't managed correctly. A new report from Robert Gordon University says the UK is running out of options to ensure a path to a just and fair transition. It's called on all politicians to ensure policies in the coming years will help to manage the decline of oil and increase investment in renewables. Stephen Brown has more.
It's a phrase that we've heard time and again, a just and fair transition. Essentially, it means no one being left behind as we move from fossil fuels to low-carbon alternatives. But there's been concern from some about the possible job losses and hit to the economy if it's not done properly. Now, analysis from Robert Gordon University shows another 20,000 jobs could be created in Scotland, but if it's not managed correctly, around 30,000 could go. And those behind the report warn the UK is running out of options to secure a just transition.
We looked at thousands of options, and what you really find is that if the oil and gas industry declines too fast and you can't make the renewables industry happening fast enough, you're going to lose the workforce, you're going to use the supply chain capacity, and by the time you need for the renewables agenda, it's simply not there. So what we're saying in this report, do it in a just and fair way, but balance it so you actually get a decline in one sector offset by the growth in the other sector.
The report says that in order to achieve a just transition, we're going to need hundreds of new turbines a year, increased investment in the supply chain, a managed decline in oil and more renewables to offset that fall.
We have a fantastic, world-renowned supply chain, highly skilled workforce with the capabilities needed to deliver a managed energy transition, but it's vital that we prevent the erosion of those skills and those capabilities before the new energy projects build out, and that's not going to happen until next decade.
Scotland, of course, will be heavily impacted by any changes. Roughly 1 in 5 workers in the North East are currently directly or indirectly employed in the offshore energy industry. Politicians on all sides have waded into the energy debate, promising a just transition, investment in renewables, but taking a different stance on the future of oil. This report says that political decisions, more than market forces, will dictate the size of the workforce in the years to come.
When we set the emissions reduction framework, we were also some of the first in the world to put just transition at the heart of our legislation as a key legal obligation. So we have always sought to take the action commensurate with the scale of the crisis, but in a way that is locally appropriate, driven by our communities.
The UK government say they have a plan to ensure there will be sufficient skills to tackle the future workforce demands across the economy. But this report is clear. Time and options are running out to ensure the tens of thousands of workers in the sector won't be left behind. Stephen Brown, STV News.